back to the daily grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Freddie Roach, aka George St. Pierre's boxing coach, is coming out and saying that Robert Whittaker will be George St. Pierre's next opponent. And even though I'm hearing this, it's so hard for me to fucking take what these guys say seriously at this point. We get pulled and tugged, you know, in like a fucking tug of war. We get pulled in so many directions. 1 minute this guy's saying it's gonna be Connor, 1 minute this guy's saying it's gonna be Tyron, 1 minute this guy's saying it's gonna be Whittaker, 1 minute Dana White's saying it's gonna be Whittaker. I don't know why anyone even said Tyron or Connor. And then the next guy, you get the fucking point. I mean, so Freddie Roach is coming out and saying it'll be Whittaker. Dana White has said it'll be Whittaker. George St. Pierre has now said it will be Whittaker. The only people that are saying that George St. Pierre's next fight will not be Whittaker are like the MMA media, the fucking Brendan Schaubs and the Ariel Helwanis and the Joe Rogans of the world that I listen to. They all allude to the fact that they, and Chael Sonnens, they believe, one or all of them believe that George St. Pierre's next fight will be versus Tyron Woodley at 170 pounds. Now, I tend to believe George St. Pierre, Dana White, and his camp at this point, because we just heard from Tyron Woodley, and he said that if he doesn't fight Nate Diaz at UFC 219, he's going to get his shoulder surgery. So with that being said, the UFC also has a pay-per-view coming up, I believe UFC 222, if not 221, in Perth, Australia, and that would be a perfect place for Robert Whittaker versus George St. Pierre right there. So that would be dope if they could, if that's where it main evented, and that would probably be around the right time frame, I believe. So I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed for Robert Whittaker versus George St. Pierre, because personally that's the fight I want to see. Although of course I would watch George Pierre versus Conor McGregor or Tyron Woodley. Either way, whoever he fights next, a lot of us are gonna be watching. But personally, I just want to see these interim champions get their, unifies these belts, because we've got two interim champions in this situation right now, in Tony Ferguson and Robert Whittaker, where the champions of their division are also happen to be the megastars of MMA, the biggest draws in MMA. So just because they are the interim champions doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get to the opportunity at fighting the current champion, because maybe the champion wants to go for the money fight or the biggest fight or the legacy fight for whatever reason. So I really hope Robert Whittaker gets this opportunity. It's looking like he's going to, but we always get thrown curveballs. We don't know what's going to happen in the wacky world of the ultimate fighting circus. With that being said, it is what it is. If you want to listen to Freddie Roach's full interview, I believe it's on the MMA Heat YouTube channel with Karen Bryant. He did an interview, and in it he said Whittaker will be next, and he also wished that Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather ended in a real knockout. With that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what the fuck you tap at in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOWG.